do you believe this is the right time to start like investing back into cryptocurrencies? Because obviously the reason why we are experiencing the bear market is because a lot of cash has been taken out. A lot of people have been selling out in their bags and stuff. So do you believe this is an indication that more people are putting money into the markets, and is that a good time to actually start putting some money into the markets in terms of long-term investing?
Well, I'm a technical analyst,
Yeah.
so based on all I don't know, you see my videos and you see what I talk about.
Yeah.
Based on everything that I research on daily, I actually believe that dollar cost averaging, that's if you're investing for the long term, dollar cost averaging at this time is definitely not a bad idea. I have various people
Okay.
who actually got in around 20K. I have some who got in around 18. Personally, I actually bought, but it wasn't a lot. I mean, compared to what I would really like to purchase, but I actually bought some Bitcoins at the bottom around 15K, which I'm very, very happy
Okay.
about. So dollar cost averaging is never ever a bad strategy. Keep in mind that the crypto space is still fairly new compared to
Mm.
other asset classes. This
Yeah.
one is still fairly new, and there's still a whole lot of development going on. So people are still adapting to the idea of this technology. So basically, there's still a whole lot of money to go into the space, given that this technology is actually a really great one, and it poses to be something that would change the entire system, financial system, a whole bunch of stuff. So basically, I believe that people will start understanding the crypto space is going to mature, and prices will definitely go higher. So dollar cost averaging at this point. Also bearing in mind that the Bitcoin halving, which is next year, is also going to come. And when that happens, of course, it's not going to be too late. It's never too late, but you probably wish you had gotten it earlier. So dollar cost averaging is never a bad idea. Exactly. Yeah.
But there was actually something you made mention of in the video I came across that you made. I think it was the bull flag. Can you use this opportunity to kind of break down that particular concept of the bull flag?
Yeah, the bull flag is actually it's a continuation pattern. So there's as you know there is a bull flag and there is also a bear flag. I wish I could share my screen now, but basically, um, when there is a bear flag, if you look at the charts from dating from the top of the market, which was 2 years ago, that's 2021. If you look at the chart all the way from 68, I mean 69K down to where we got, you would notice that there has been continuous bear flags, continuous bear flags. So these are actually continuation patterns. And how you know that they are continuation patterns is when you see the formation is basically has this staircase pattern whereby the prices drop hard and then it consolidates for a while and then takes another leg down, consolidates for a while and then takes another leg down. Regardless of whatever it is that is going on in the crypto space, it could be anything that could trigger these movements, whether it's CPI numbers coming in high or FTX crash or a hack in one crypto. It really could be anything that would come in as a catalyst for this thing. If you notice, now that the market is recovering, what is basically triggering this CPI numbers that came in at 6.5% inflation, and basically that 6.5 is not like it's really low, but it's just lower than the way it was before. And in my opinion, that's not really enough to trigger people to start investing, but it's just serving as a catalyst. The thing is that it is just time for the market to go up, and that's what's going to happen. These big investors that are out there, the whales and all these people, they understand these market cycles and they pay very close attention to it.
A conscious there.
They pay very close attention to it. So I just think it's best for everybody to understand these market cycles and then make smart decisions. Yeah, so you asked the question about the bull flag, yeah.
Yeah.
So the bull flag is just the opposite of the bear flag. So basically, right now we've experienced right from the bottom, which was around 15k, and when we started moving up, we noticed that we got to 20k. So we got to 21k, and then prices went back down and started trading within that range. So if you look at that chart, you see that at the point where from 50k all the way to 20k, it was almost like it was a straight line all the way back to that back to 20k, and then all of a sudden it slowed down and it started consolidating. So that is basically the bull flag formation, the continuation pattern. And what has happened right now after the continuation pattern, after the bull flag formation, we continued going upwards. And now I believe that we're actually going to form another continuation pattern as we've already slowed down
Like
at the
your
moment.
opposite direction.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting you correctly, you started observing the bull flag. You're looking at your charts right now, right? Yes?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So if I'm getting you correctly, you started observing the bull flag formation from 31k, like the 31k price. Because I'm looking at it from a weekly time frame.
Well, okay, maybe you should switch to the daily or switch to like maybe 4 hours charts. If you look at the 4 hours chart, it will be clearer to see. So on the 4 hours chart, right? Then looking at all the way from let's say 16k. If you notice, once the minute prices started going back high, you notice that it was almost like it was a straight line. Not a straight line, but almost like
It's
a straight line. So that straight line could act like, the pole.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Exactly. It's called a flag, right? So just think about how a flag looks like. A flag is basically the pole and the cloth or whatever it is. Yeah, the case may be. So that is something similar to what we're experiencing here.
So is it safe to say that this particular, you said it's a rally, you may give it a certain name. This particular rally now, the bull rally, if or relief, you said a relief.
Yeah, relief rally.
A relief rally, okay, yeah. So this particular relief rally, do you think it's going to take up to 6 months to get to its full fruition? Seeing that this whole boom bear market took roughly a year to get to this particular price point where we are consolidating.
Well, generally, the bull market basically is almost 3 years it's 2.5 years basically. So, like I said, I strongly believe that this is just the beginning of a long-term bull rally. It's just the beginning, and things are literally just getting started. There are still a lot of people who are calling for lower prices. I mean, I don't know if they are still calling for those low prices at this point. But the guy that this Dream Chaser was supposed to come in here, I actually met him from one of his videos, and he was talking about Bitcoin going to 10k, and I was just like, I really don't see that happening, and that was what got us engaged, and I then pitched the idea of coming here to talk about it. Exactly. So I don't know if he's still calling for such prices. But at this point, I really don't think people are going to buy the idea of it's going to 10k. Or do you buy the idea?
I mean, looking at the whole, because when I'm trying to analyze the markets, I looked at it from like the monthly perspective, and I had like two price points or two zones, so to say, that I was looking at. Because from the monthly, the whole Bitcoin chart, especially the previous bull run we just got out of, it looked like an extended W formation, and it either was supposed to hit on the previous high, or the neckline of the W formation. But seeing it bounce, this particular candle, the monthly candle for January, is crazy. It's like way bullish. So I don't see like price on the next, because definitely it's going to be next month's candle. I don't see next month's candle going lower than this. For looking at this from a monthly perspective, I don't.
Because that is honestly, that is, in fact, now that you even talked about, the larger time frame, which is the monthly one, if you notice, if you train various indicators, maybe like 200-day moving average, or maybe EMA or something like that, if you train any of those indicators, you see that overall, right from the beginning of crypto, which was all the way back, in fact, right from when the chart started reading, which was like around 2013, you notice that the entire data that has been recorded, it has really never gone below that the 200-day moving average. If you control that in your chart, you see what I'm talking about. It has really never gone below.
Sorry, come again. You said what?
I said that if you look at the charts dating all the way back to 2013, which is like the oldest data I can see on my screen here. And then if you throw in an indicator such as the 200-day moving average, you'd notice that we've never gone below that 200-day moving average since that time. So it just looks like we've not really experienced anything bearish per se. It has just been a really, really long bull market overall. Like looking at it,
right? Yeah,
exactly. So if we actually if we spend too long below, we are currently sitting a little at the range of, like, really at the bottom of that formation. So if we spend too long in that area, then we can conclude that how many years, a decade plus, is currently 2 decades actually. A decade since 2013 to now it's 2023. So a decade. This a decade. A decade's data would be breaking formation, and that would really, really, really be bad for the crypto, because it would mean that we are currently going against what we've been doing since a decade. So I'm really hopeful that it doesn't happen that way. I believe that we are currently at the bottom, and it's not even a bad time to buy, honestly speaking.
We're saying something about Dream Chaser looking at the markets at going to prices of 10K. It's possible maybe he also has his analysis also on looking at it. But yourself personally, you said you're an active trader. Are you like a day trader, or what's it called now, swing trader, so to say?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a day trader or a swing trader. They're just basic things that I have principles that dictates whether or not I will trade. So if I see a particular setup that aligns with my strategy, then I'll go for it. But if I don't see anything that looks like what I'm comfortable with, I would rather miss the opportunity than gamble with it, because these things can really, really be dicey and tricky. You don't want to be in that situation whereby you are, just FOMOing into anything that comes your way. I actually have a Telegram group, and just before we got on this call, about an hour before we got on this call, I actually was just updating them and just basically reminding people that the best way to trade is to get into, set yourself up before the move happens, and not after the move happens. For instance, the market has gone up about how many percent now? A couple of percentage. People made money, but then the reason why they were able to make money was because they could predict that it was coming, and their analysis probably put them in that position to do that. Do you get? So
Yeah, so
they were able to set themselves up beforehand, not afterwards. If you try to FOMO into a trade, you probably will get burned.
that's actually very true. US there's actually, speaking on like the issue of gambling and trading not being, it's actually an argument I've been having with like a lot of, I wouldn't say an argument, but let's say just a conversation with a few friends here, where a lot of them say like in trading per se is more of gambling, like, because it's like you can't really truly predict the market, you know. And I try to say like, to an extent, trading is not gambling, because there are already proven techniques and approach to sustaining an account over a long haul. And then I
Definitely.
think the idea, or the major goal, is actually having like a key strategy to that keeps working over and over again.
Yeah.
And then there's this analogy that a friend of mine now said. He said like, it seems like most of the exchanges, they try to they how do I say it, they try to read traders, yeah. They try to read trader strategies and then go against traders, because you're in that situation where, and it's happened to me like a few times, where you're like in a winning trade, and then you're like, okay, let me just put my stop loss right at the top of my entry and shit like that, and the market always comes back to your entry, and it like freaks you out of the market. And my friend was like, no, 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 I think these guys are reading my trades. I think I think these guys are reading my trades, and they are bringing the market back to me. So what would you say about that kind of context?
Well, obviously, it's not true.
Okay.
They cannot just be targeting you. There are a million people that are trading just like you are, and there are people who are winning each of those trades. And the key to being a successful trader, in my opinion, is basically understanding the principle of accumulated profits, and not trying to get 100% or make 5x or 10x in one single trade. That's where people make mistakes. If I make a trade, and I get 30%, 40% out of that trade, I'm okay. Even if it's 30%, I'm fine. There's no rule anywhere that says that it has to be 10x. Once you're able to repeat 30%, let's say you repeat 30% in 3 days, or you repeat it, repeat 30% profits in a week, or you can do it in 2 weeks or whatever. At that point, you
Yeah.
already like doubled your initial capital, have you not? Think about
Yes.
it. That's 30, 30, 30. That's 90. It's almost double already. It's better than losing. It's safer.
All right.
The the
I
thing,
guess
the
this.
truth is that sorry, the truth is that the markets is the minute you begin to start trading, the market is against you. So um the best way to do to be profitable as a trader is just to reduce your risk.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Reduce your risk as much as possible. When you're in profits, take profits. Once once you see that the trade is going bad, put your stop loss or doesn't seem to stop loss. Just like that.
So yourself, in terms of leverage trading with crypto, because obviously the schematics with trading crypto and trading forex is quite different. The terminologies and things that we look at. Because if we're talking about crypto trading, we talk about leverage of 5x, 10x, 20x, and 50x, and all that.
Mhm.
So what would you say is like the most comfortable leverage points to trade at, as for a small trader? Let's say you're trying to flip $100 account, or $200 accounts. What would you say is a comfortable leverage point?
Well, for me, when I'm feeling really confident, I apply 10x leverage. When I'm not too sure, I just stay on 5x. And there are trades that I'm currently on a long-term trade on what's this called? Ape Apecoin.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm currently on a long-term trade, but I have just 3x leverage on that.
Okay.
So it just depends on my level of confidence and all of that.
Yeah, I see. So it's like the longer you stay, the lower the leverage. The shorter you stay, the higher the leverage. That the idea.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. Because personally, I used to trade. I used to trade on leverage of. I think the last time I tried to kill myself, I traded on a leverage of 20x. Yeah, that's how I tried to kill. I traded like on a leverage of 20x,
200
and
next.
the market was no 20x. I think the highest I've traded was 50x, and that day I regretted myself. I regretted life. In fact, it was crazy.
Definitely.
50x. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. Even if
Definitely.
the analysis gets correct and everything, but the leverage doesn't allow you to even to stay in the market long enough to find out.
That's the
So I think
point
that
where it can be then considered as gambling because
yeah.
you're just hoping for the best at that point.
No.
Do you understand? Me that I'm even talking safe. When I use 10x leverage, I actually feel like I'm doing too much. How much more
Mm.
50x?
Gee. Yeah, exactly.
Gee.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm actually also learning, at the same time, because I used to when I the last time I tried using was it how many x was that? That was 5x. When the last time I tried using 5x, it was so slow, you see. And I think that's one thing I'm still working on as a trader, that thing
Patience.
of patience. It's really a gift. Honestly, it's a gift.
The market always rewards impatience. Always.
Mm.
There are a lot of people, generally speaking, besides trading now, generally speaking, whether you're a long-term investor, whether you are even short-term, basically, as long as you stay patient and understand what you're in, the market will definitely reward you. Definitely. I have
Mm.
mentors and role models. There is this guy, Michael Saylor. I don't know if you know Saylor.
Yeah, Michael said that. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That micro strategy guy.
micro strategy. Yeah.
So he has a very, very long term view on crypto. I think that was 2021 or 2020 when he started accumulating crypto. He had a he had a 10-year plan. 10 years. And
10 years.
yeah, 10 years plan. So regardless of the volatility in the market, regardless of anything going on, he stays patient. And he has investors, people who are invested in his company and all of that. This guy literally spent, I think, if not more than half of his entire cash reserves and everything just buying Bitcoin. And he's not even the kind of guy to diversify into Ethereum and altcoins and all.
Mm.
In fact, at the point, it's just lately that he began um buying the idea of altcoins. He's recently he spoke good about Ethereum, but before it was just Bitcoin. He's a big typical Bitcoin maximalist. That's
Okay.
that's like a filler for you. So he's having those kind of mindsets that are rewarding at the end of the day. Some people think Bitcoin and crypto is a Ponzi scheme. I've had people ask me questions like, "Oh, if I put $200 today, how much will I make in 2 weeks?" And silly questions like that. Those are people who lack understanding. Where I'm thinking that they think of it as a Ponzi scheme, as a big mistake.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah. I think that thought process is already. I never really actually thought of Bitcoin like a Ponzi. It's so far from it because it's impossible for a Ponzi scheme to create a system like this.
Well,
Even if it started, even looking at the history, it never started as a Ponzi scheme. It started as a technology.
mhm.
think anybody who believes Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme is someone that never really took time
To understand it.
do research or try to understand,
Yeah.
what Bitcoin is about. Because it's impossible to think that.
No, in Nigeria, I think 2017, 2018, thereabouts, Ponzi scheme was really, really a thing. Puts $100, gets I don't know, $500, and Ponzi schemes like that. And some of them even adapted crypto into it because as at 2017, I think this is part of the things that brought me into the space as well.
Yeah.
There was this Ethereum Ponzi scheme that was going on at that time.
Each one is that.
Forgotten the name of it though. But it was a Ponzi scheme.
How to do it.
Basically, it's based on referrals. That's how Ponzi scheme works now. Based on referrals, bring two people, they'll register. Basically, a pyramid. And at the end of the day, once the people who started the pyramid scheme, once they cash out, that's the entire thing collapses.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, no, those were
so
scheme.
exactly. So that was how I got into the game in the first place. So I understand why people can have that mentality. But I believe it is our jobs as crypto enthusiasts to really educate people on what they're actually getting into. When I'm actually talking to various students, I actually always, before we get into the trading aspect of it, I actually make
Yeah.
sure that they understand what crypto is before we talk about trading. It's really, really crucial. Really, really crucial.
That's actually very, yeah, it's a good idea, because sometimes someone can want to be a part of something but not understand the thing itself, like understanding the technology itself. Like if I can share a bit of my experience on how I, got into, crypto. It was someone who told me to buy bitcoins and send to him, and that's investing in Bitcoin. It was crazy, like, come on. If I had known what Bitcoin was, I wouldn't obviously do that. But I bought the Bitcoin and sent it to him, thinking I invested in Bitcoin. Can you imagine? So it was after still taking some more time to do some research, and I discovered that, oh, okay, I just got scammed.
Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. So I think we have some new speakers who join in. We have Map in, and we have Dream Chasers also in. You can kindly request to speak so we push the conversation forward. Yeah. So I mean, Mr. T, you're still in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So basically, now looking at the position Bitcoin finds itself in terms of doing, you said it's a rally. I'm still forgetting that word. The first,
The relief rally.
the relief rally, exactly. The relief rally. How would that affect assets like Ethereum? Because Ethereum is like the second um, most funded crypto assets. How would that affect Ethereum? Because we're looking at even the movement of Ethereum on the bear market, and how it's moved alongside Bitcoin's fall. It was kind of synonymous. So what would you say on this particular trend?
Well, I don't think Ethereum is ready to decouple from Bitcoin at this point. I mean, a lot of people, I've heard a lot of analysts talk about Ethereum decoupling and all of that, but I really don't think it's we are at that stage. Whatever Bitcoin does, Bitcoin really literally determines what happens. If Bitcoin is going down, trust me, a whole lot of other cryptocurrencies are going to crash harder. So once Bitcoin is going up, other cryptocurrencies are going to follow in suit, including Ethereum and various. In fact, when Bitcoin moves, the level of percentage that Bitcoin moves, these other altcoins they actually do a whole lot better. So various investors and traders actually make a whole lot more money buying altcoins rather than Bitcoin. That's why I prefer when I'm doing analysis. I prefer to actually analyze Bitcoin because it feels like analyzing all these other altcoins is just a waste of time because when Bitcoin moves, whatever Bitcoin does affects all of them anyway. So why not just analyze the king coin? Gets
Yeah, that's a good.
So what is the root of the Bitcoin?
sorry.
Yeah, so what is the rate of the Bitcoin right now? Right, the BTC. How much is the rate?
You mean the price of Bitcoin right now?
Yeah, or
Okay.
some I heard someone say the rate is 14. Yeah, rate 14. So I have some 20 Bitcoin in my account, but probably I don't want to sell it, so I want to leave it there.
Okay. The price of Bitcoin right now is 22,900
So
dollars.
yeah, that's the total figure that I set for it.
Okay.
Sorry, was that a question?
Yeah, I was just asking.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, you can always find out the price of Bitcoin and any crypto asset on coinmarketcap.com.
Yeah, okay. So what is the
Yeah.
best trading app that you can trade your BTC? Normally I use Coinbase and Binance, but I figure I'll say Coinbase is more good than Binance.
Well, if yeah, I think mostly it's down to like your user preference, whichever is easier for you to understand. Because the idea is, being able to convert easily and also the rates for conversion. And since you know of Coinbase and Binance, I think you are in a good spot.
Yeah, yeah. Last year, I got 10,000 of my BTC account. Yeah,
Okay.
the amount that I'm having. Like, I don't know what is going on with Bitcoin. I decided to trade on Forex Street, but by the way, some people they have demo account and those things, so I don't want to involve in such a matter.
Okay. Um, if you have any like direct questions, you can just let us know.
Yeah, okay.
We'll-
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being a part of the conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
sure.
We have Map who just joined in. Map, you're welcome. And also Dream Chasers JTK, you can request to speak. I actually sent you an invitation also. Map, are you there? Okay, I think Map is not yet in. Okay, so Mr. T, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. There was something with this Selena Brown actually made mention of, talking about the exchanges, best exchanges to buy crypto assets and whatnot. So yourself, what exchanges do you use?
Well, in terms just to make purchases, I think that depends on your location. Um, Sometimes I don't think Binance works everywhere, but I prefer to use Binance anyway.
Okay.
I prefer to use Binance, but like I always say, I don't buy cryptocurrencies to keep in exchanges, except I'm trading there. It's always best to have a non-custodial wallet where you can store your crypto safely, or else you might just experience what happened with FTX users. I mean, it's funny how I actually made a video.
Okay.
I actually made a video like 2 months or a month prior to the FTX crash, and when I made that video, I had a whole lot of backlash. I mean, a couple of people liked, supported the idea, but I got a lot of backlash, and most people were like, "Oh, never keep your cryptocurrencies in wallets.
Yeah.
Um, what if something happens to Trust Wallet, for instance?" And it just shows that there's a whole lot of people who really do not understand how non-custodial wallets work. and how exchanges work. Now, I believe after the FTX crash, a lot of people understand better, especially those who lost. They understand better the reason for, crypto enthusiasts making such statements.
Even a recent experience I had, like with a centralized exchange, where I bought like a few crypto assets, and they delisted the assets from their exchange, and I can't find. I don't have the asset anymore, and I can't do anything about it. You
Did
see,
you try reaching out to
that's
them?
I've sent them an email. I'm still waiting for their response.
That's the thing. That's the thing. But if it's a non-custodial wallet, whatever, let's say if it's Trust Wallet, for instance, and Trust Wallet decides to close as a company, it doesn't affect you in any way. You can literally take your open another wallet. Say it's Exodus wallet. Say it's which other non-custodial wallet is out there. You can literally put your seed phrase into any wallet, and it will still work perfectly well.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's Selena Brown. Yeah, I guess is in the right spot. For me, I believe it's just about like comfort. Like whichever is ease of use. It's like if the platforms are able to make the exchanges easy for you to use and you enjoy using it, I think that's the most important. And then next step is like security. As you've gotten the crypto assets, you find the best way to save them and store them.
Yeah, most importantly.
Yeah. I think I see Dream Chasers is in now. Are you there, Dream Chaser? JTK. I don't know if you can hear.
Yeah. I'm here. Good day. I'm just listening. Now I joined late. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
it's
follow.
okay. It's okay. Welcome. Well, we're just dabbling around the crypto verse. You know, we've talked at length about the Bitcoin price points, and I think something even came up, during the conversation where we're talking about the possibilities where Bitcoin could possibly bottom out at. And I don't know, from your own perspective, where do you think we are done with the bear market, or we're just experiencing a rally at this point, a relief rally?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, okay, I think I should introduce myself. So, my name is Winchester. I'm a technical analyst, and yeah. All right. I'm a fundamental analyst too. So, from my analysis, what I'm saying, if you check Bitcoin on a one, uh, is it either 1 week or 1 month? Wait, let me check. Let me check my laptop.
All right.
Yeah. So, if you check Bitcoin on the 1 month, you will see that on BTC we have something called, I don't know if you guys trade with patterns here, right? But there's something called, okay, yes, on the 1 week time frame. So there's something called a double top pattern, right? And on the weekly we're having,
Are you there? JTK, are you there?
I think it was experiencing network issues.
can you hear me?
Yes,
I think we lost you for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a double top at the moment. Now we're having a rally back to the neckline, and a double top pattern. Once there's a breakout, there's most times, not all the time, but most of the times, in fact 95% of the time, there's always a retest back to the neckline. Then after the neckline, you know that when it has, like, the price has gotten to the neckline, you know that all confirmations on all conditions have been met. Then from there we're having a serious dump, right? And that dump mostly passes or goes beyond where the retest started from. So right now we had our retest, I think, from around, so I think the lowest Bitcoin went to was 16,000 or something, right? So now we are going back to $30,000, that range. Now from that $30,000, we're gonna have a serious dump. That's from our places, right?
we're going to have a serious dump. And if you use flags to trade, the last bear flag that Bitcoin broke, if you know how to calculate or do the calculations, you will see that if every confirmation, every conditions have been met, so Bitcoin is supposed to dump to $10,000 at least. If I watch those on the chart, it's $9,600 at least. So I just put it at $10,000. So I think after after we hit the neckline of 30K, then we're headed to 10K those. Then also, if you check DXY is dollar. I don't know, for those that might not know. So DXY, on where DXY is on the support at the moment. DXY is on the support at 101.919, that zone, and DXY needs to do a retest back to 106. Now DXY doing a retest back to 106 simply means that DXY is going to gather strength, and once DXY gathers strength, right, I think that is what is going to push Bitcoin from 30K down to 10. Then after that, then I think our bear market has ended officially. Then we start to have our rally, because from there, the next time DXY is coming down, DXY is going to break that support at 101.9, there about that zone, and then go down. So once dollar loses strength, the price of Bitcoin goes up. So yeah, so that's just my own view and analysis on Bitcoin.
Thank you. I wanted to ask a question.
Okay. Go on.
Okay, so this question is actually directed at Dream Chaser. Okay, so my question was, he talked about, Dream Chaser talked about the dollar index finding support at current price right now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask that, do you think it's possible that we actually do not find that support that he talked about? That is it possible that we actually do not find that support and we just, glide down and we just keep going downwards?
Like I said, we at the moment we have a zone support, right? Now this zone support on DXY is from I'm trying to measure it. Okay, from 101.43 to 102, 102.5 something there about, Now that support is our weekly is supposed to end today, right? Tomorrow is supposed to be a new week, Abi. So on the weekly,
Yeah.
the candlestick for me there is a candlestick showing that buyers are pushing up now. Understand? From there, I'm expecting a new green candle. I'm expecting a green candle from there.
What chart are you looking at, sorry?
1 week. DXY.
DXY or Bitcoin?
What?
Okay.
DXY. Do you understand? So if we close at that point, the next candle forming beside it should be a green candle. So that green candle is going to indicate buyers are now getting strength in the market. So once DXY, because it cannot just get to that support and just go back, it's just keep going down. There has to be something like probably retest from that support. And I'm expecting that retest to go back to the previous resistance. Bitcoin can't just go somewhere. USA have not, I don't know, has USA officially declared that they're in a recession?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so they have not declared. So the bear market, they have a lot of what they call these things again. Is it macroeconomics that needs to play out in the world yet? They are yet to happen. And if you check historically, these things happen in circle. I think they are being done like that to be able to regulate money in the world and regulate the financial markets in general. A big exchange, another big exchange is supposed to close. You understand? To indicate that, okay, just like the way we have a lot of companies, like crypto companies have closed, people are firing people worldwide. In fact, the rate companies fired people this period is the highest ever seen. So all these are not just in the crypto market. All these are indicators that okay, there's something going on, and these things happen periodically. So I don't think the bear market is the bear market until Bitcoin now becomes a mainstream discussion that is Bitcoin collapsing? Is this happening? Everywhere will be shaking up. Say they call them Wall Street, the Wall Street will be shaking. They'll be like, okay, is the Bitcoin disappearing? Is Bitcoin the biggest scam in the 21st century? Or is this that? Is this that? The hand, those are the main field. They are yet to happen. And they need to happen. This cannot just be the bear market. Not normally, cannot just be the bear market. Then on the charts are showing clearly that we're having a retest now and we're going to dump. Every condition has been met on the double bottom. Just that retest back to the neckline to get your enter and move. So yeah. So I think we are still bearish. And mind you, the market moves in circles, right? We're expecting the next Bitcoin halving should be next year, right?
Yeah, next year.
Yeah, but the bull market, I think the first indicators of the bull market is Bitcoin halving. I don't know if you know how Bitcoin halving operates. Do you know how it operates?
Yeah, well, the stock basically that each miner can gets halved.
You say what?
The rewards each miner can get in Bitcoin gets halved.
Yes, it gets divided. That's showing that okay, there will be more scarcity of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And once there's scarcity and there's demand, price drives high. So I think everybody should take Bitcoin halving as an indicator to know that okay, we're not coming to an end. So that's its next year. So we'll have 1 full year. And the Bitcoin is in circles, Though there's something that I always believe in. In crypto, the impossible happens. So, who knows? Probably this period we're not expecting a bull run is actually sounding impossible. Who knows? It might happen. It might just happen. I was listening to this, and what was the name of Sam's girlfriend? That Amelda CEO. She was trading billions of dollars without stop loss. That is sounding crazy and sounding like an impossible thing for a normal human being to do, but then it was possible on this face. So yeah, but then from what I'm seeing on the charts, the bear market is just this whole pump is simply a bull trap. It's simply a bull trap. So yeah, so that's just my own opinion, Thank you.
Well, from his analysis, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can, question a couple of things, such as I don't think there is any relief rally that we've ever experienced that actually resulted in us dipping further down, below the price that the previous supports exactly.
Okay.
Dating back to COVID, and for COVID, the only reason why we even experienced that crash was simply because of COVID. Basically, that was the only reason we experienced that crash. Dating back to my analysis of what I talked about when prices actually bottom. If you actually go and check the charts, you will see that once we hit the bottom, as at that time which was around 3,000 or 4,900 before the COVID crash, if it seemed like we had found a bottom before the COVID crash and we just kept going up. But then because of the uncertainty in the markets and everything happening with COVID, it's just resulted in a crash back. And that was what was, in quotes, the relief rally. But even at that, it still didn't dip below that support. So I don't know. In my opinion, I really don't see that happening. You see that the halving event days were not actually the days that Bitcoin actually bottomed out. That really bottoms out before the halving event day. So the halving event is just a confirmation of what is already happening, so to speak.
Okay. Yes. A great insight. I mean, the both analysis from both ends, they sound pretty believable, and personally it coincides with my analysis, because I had like two zones of possibly places where Bitcoin could drop in terms of bottoming out. And when I was looking at it from the weekly perspective, like I said, like I saw like an initial W formation from that the monthly and weekly perspective, and either it hits the previous high of the first W, or it goes to the neckline of the W, from the breakouts on this previous bull run we had. And now it didn't go to the neckline, it hit the previous high and had like this spike, which JTK says refers to as a bull trap, which it could be possible. But now, looking at what JTK said around the DXY the DXY chart, and the movement is expecting, that's the support zone is looking at, and the movement is expecting. I guess I'll have to observe it like very closely to give my final look at it. But obviously it looks like something that should retest. But I don't know about the support yet. The support line I drew, the support zone I drew, it still has some time to get there, and I don't know how long it will take. And then looking at Bitcoin and the movements it's supposed to make, looking at even JTK, I think he made mention of a price of around 30k or 31k or so as the resistance point, so to say. And if we're looking at the time frame for these things to coincide, I don't know. I'm not so sure of that data at this point. But I guess it's something that time will tell, I believe.
I just want to give my 2 cents on the DXY before we just before we end this. Regarding the US dollars, right? I was actually looking into the daily charts, and I noticed something which I think is really significant. On the daily charts, there have been various times that there's this indicator called the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. Yeah. They're basically like the most important. I wouldn't say it's most important, but it's really significant anyway. And each time that's whenever the 50-day moving average crosses below that 200-day moving average, it basically is something referred to as a death cross. And each time that this thing has happened, the price of the dollars has plummeted. Like each time, I mean, over the past few years that it has happened, each time that it has happened, the price of the US dollars has plummeted just right afterwards. And dating back to the beginning of this year, 6th of January, it actually happened again. Like we experienced the death cross again. So for that reason, for that sole reason alone, for the fact that it has happened a couple of times, looking at historical price action here, for the fact that it has happened a couple of times, more recent times, the last 2 times that happened. So I believe that the probability of it happening again might actually be high. So regarding that, the support zone for the dollars, it's possible that it will hold, but I think overall speaking, it might actually break the level of support just because of this indicator. Just that.
Okay. No, but even looking at the DXY chart, it looks like a breakout sort of. But I hope that's not but it's like very well. Looking at the weekly, it's like a breakout of this bull flag. I think now my eyes are seeing the bull flag you're referring to. This bull flag on the weekly chart. But for me, I just believe it has not gotten to the support yet. From the support zone, I see though, it has not gotten there yet to begin to say it's going to either retest or it's going to break back in.
Yeah, the support is far at 90, 92 thereabouts.
Yeah. It's
It's actually far down, in my opinion, anyway.
that I guess, but I guess the main guy will be Bitcoin, trying to know if Bitcoin has already found the bottom or we are yet to, which will be determined by how far we reject from whatever resistance we get to from here. Because if from our conversation so far, I'm able to conclude that everybody believes, or most of us believe, that Bitcoin is on its way to a retest, or it's heading higher in the short term. Let's say in few weeks or a few months.
Few months.
Although I don't know. Map, are you here? Map is not here. Okay.
I've been listening. I'm here. I've been listening.
Yeah. All right. Before, because the time is already fast spent, I'd just love to get your opinion on, like, Bitcoin for 2023, what your perspective is, and even from, whatever you can conclude from the conversation you've had so far.
Thank you very much. I think from me listening to the speakers, I've learned a lot about Bitcoin halving and the price prediction of Bitcoin. I think I actually separate styles in terms of how I think Bitcoin is going to go. Because for me, I think what conduct technical analysis or fundamental analysis, I blend it up with sentimental analysis. And when you look at the analysis from, let's say, Q4 2022, a lot of people lost money in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. And that has affected the rate of investment going into the market. So aside what we are seeing in 2023 that would drive people to reinvest, which is in line of sentimental analysis, we'll start seeing a lot of corporations investing in Bitcoin projects. But right as of now, the market, whatever is happening right now, I just feel it's whales playing the games of whales, because what Bitcoin did just this couple of days, I've been following it. It doesn't look good. I don't know if people are celebrating it, but it doesn't look good. I think something crazy is coming, something that might take a lot of money out of the market. I agree with Winchester when he said that he thinks that the market is heading for another collapse. One exchange, or maybe multiple exchange will go out of the market. And you of course, you're aware that we made investments in exchange called ZTG, I think so. And ZTG, I think I did research on them, and I noticed that they have been steadily delisting projects that they are not sure of. Delisting projects at the same time, it's not good for the market, because and these things. Why am I speaking to these things? Is because these are things that actually affect sentimental analysis. Because people invest because of sentiment. They go on YouTube, they go on Twitter, listen to live rooms like this. And this is what informs people to invest. And if all these things are not in place, I think the market is going to consolidate. But let's say towards the ending of Q2, then we'll be certain on what will happen. And at that time, because currently most corporations, most companies, they are still doing their evaluation for 2023, and I'm sure evaluation will take, let's say, the whole of Q1 for them to check for how their investment. So for me, I'm looking at least mid or toward the end of the before I'll be threatening on where the market is going, on where the market. But for now, I'm certain that whatever is happening in the market right now, what the world speed, moving money around, so it's affecting the market the way it's happening right now. But looking at the charts, looking at the Bitcoin charts and Ethereum chart, I think the best, if I'm say where I'm looking my portfolio for 2022, I'm looking at holding a lot of Ethereum. Once Ethereum throughout the bear market, Ethereum really stood its ground and made us to understand that if Bitcoin is no longer there, I'm not saying Bitcoin will not be there, but Bitcoin is no longer there, we have something to hold an interest in.
So with that being said, I think it for the far future of Bitcoin, I think the crypto economy is definitely looking great. But on the short term, I think investors should really do some critical research.
Okay, that's yeah, a way to put that. It's a really good way to put it. So if I got you very well, I think you made mention about something like whales are moving money around. So it simply means like this particular reaction was seen in the market. We're talking about sentiments and fundamentals. It's just like cash, extra cash coming into this space just to be moved around to later exit the space again. Is that what you mean?
Well, if you follow up with what happened with FTX, that's I told you something the other day. I said what we don't understand is just like the normal financial system. There's what they call black market. And people don't understand what they call black market. Black market in the right sense is unaccounted finance, like money that is moving but is not showing on the spreadsheet on the global financial record. It's dark money. It's going behind. So crypto as an economy also have a dark market. And when the money is not reflecting in the spreadsheet of the big exchanges and the cold storage and how the money is somewhere. So when we are moving money around, I feel, and it's open for other people to question me about it or bring their own argument. I feel those money are backed up somewhere, and some occasionally whales bring, because there's this account on Twitter that I follow. I follow multiple accounts like Whales Alert. Where do money come from and where the money goes? So there are people who have dedicated their careers and their company to tracing where this money goes. And for me, I believe that the guys that really understand the economy are the guys that controls huge chunk of money, where the money goes. And aside corporations, I look at the guys which I class them as whales, the guys that have money in separate. Like if you look, sorry, let me go back to FTX. Most of the money right now, part of the research that was going on, I don't know if it's concluded yet, but they were trying to look at where possibly the Sam moved some of the money to, because he was moving money while all the things were going on. Where did he move the money to, and how come it's really difficult for us to trace it? So these are the things that I'm looking at, and I'm looking at the whole thing. When you see big amount of money flowing in, it affects the market. And when those money flow out, if you pay attention, those money sometimes they don't stay in the market for very long, and they disappear. And when they disappear, you just see a sharp drop in the market, and people blame it on Bitcoin, people blame it on here, people blame it on economies and countries. No, there's really, I sound like a conspiracy theory, conspiracy guy. Well, no, it's because this economy where we're actually looking at is deeper than whatever we think we know. You understand? Bitcoin was, if you look at the internet before, Bitcoin was created to be an economy in its own. It was created to go against whatever financial system we have right now. So with that being said, we need to know that it's deeper than whatever we think we know. And for us to be able to give proper analysis, we need to look at all angles. Everything from where the money comes, where the money goes, who is responsible for these funds, and where's the money going, and how long does the money stay in the market? Because if a corporation is investing, is investing, at least they are looking at yearly return. They're investing in the project and they're holding it for the year. Then towards Q4, they start doing their evaluations and removing their money out of the market. That's why you notice that towards December, towards end of the year, market always consolidate downward, because people are now removing profits from the market. But as early as Q1 right now, we should pay attention to the money going into the market and where's the money coming from, what exchanges are those money going into. That's where we should really pay attention to. I don't know if I was able to make a point.
Yeah, it was a really great point actually. So if we have anyone who would like to, comment a bit more, what Map just put down on the table, Dream Chaser and Mr. T, the floor is open for concluding, remarks.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Keith.
Okay, so I just wanted to throw in something in regards to what Map said. The thing is, it's the financial market, right? And crypto is an open market, right? Um, there will always, in every market, even stocks, there will always be whales who are always trying to manipulate the market. It is very, very normal. So, this manipulation that is going on right now, I'm not disputing the fact that it could be manipulation. Um, you know, at the beginning of this call, I actually mentioned that it could actually be a relief rally, and it's even likely to be a relief rally. But the point is it time? That's the question you should be asking. Is it time to go into the market? Basically, if it's a relief rally just means that market is going back, is going up, only to come back down. But the question is, how far down is it going to go? Right? That's the most important question, and have we actually bottomed out? Based on everything that we've all discussed, I believe these market cycles are actually really, really important to pay attention to. And once you're able to understand the market cycles, you understand that they do not break. So I believe that what is going on right now, even though it can be termed as manipulation, it's still people who are trying to take advantage of the situation. And the situation is that they can see that this is the point to that market has actually bottomed out, but they want to drive retail investors such as you and I into the market and then take some money out of retail investors such as you and I, and of which they will still put back into the market. Okay, but that does not dispute the fact that it is in that time of the market cycle whereby it is actually the bottom. I don't know if that makes sense actually.
Okay, that's a great point, too. It's a great point because personally, I don't know. They I can't really predict how deep the market can fall because even at this time, I looked at the chart like as of in 2020 when the market seemed like it was going to break, like it was. I think it was like March. It was in March of 2020. I think that was the Corona period. I believe.
That was the COVID.
When it felt, yeah, yeah, when it felt like the market was going to break, and that was like, it had like a real reason why it should break, because the whole economy was, people were still trying to figure out the economy because it felt like a new economy on its own. So, but at the end of the day, there was still a rally and it started like a huge bull run.
While the economy was
So, uh, mm, so I believe to an extent, if Bitcoin is a technology and there are still some people who even after this whole bear market still have some investments in Bitcoin, or all of their investments in fact in Bitcoin. To an extent, it's just, I think it's understanding the movement and knowing the right time to get in as an individual or as a business. I believe that's what I would say for the Bitcoin price. And then for trading is going to be very, very tricky. Uh, it depends on how the patterns of trading are. If you're going to be bearish or bullish at this particular time of the year, yeah, it's going to be very, very tricky too. Because right now, even Bitcoin is going to battle with a certain resistance. We'll just be looking at how the next month's candle reads out. Then we'll see what direction. But for me, though, the bullish is strong. We just have to wait for that resistance. I don't know if Dream Chaser is still in. Dream Chaser JTK.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening. I'm trying to, learn from whoever was doing something listening.
Thanks for usually the conversations, we like to make the conversations at least for an hour long so we can have some time to ourselves to relax. And right now we've almost passed 1 hour mark. I just would like us if you have like anything to conclude around the conversation, And also if you have any topic you'd like us to converse on for next week, it will be really really great if you put it in right now. It will be great. Yeah, so if you have anything to conclude about what we have today, and also Map, if you have anything on your mind also that you'd like to air out, you can just come after Dream Jason.
Okay, so two things. Because I believe somehow the community we're responsible for our community. I would just want to say, because I'm a trader, and I want to say that for those who would want to go into markets, I think they should look at 25, 25,043, 25,000. They should look at them. Don't, when it gets there, get out, take a break, look at the structure again, because I see this because if you look at the market right now, where the market is as we're taking right now is currently under a very big support and under a very big resistance. 50 moving average is known to be a powerful support or resistance directly under it. And market translation, all these indications, they are not just formulations from random places. They are like technologies that back how these trends move. And for those who be trading, just look at 25, and once it gets behind 20, gets above 25, take a pause, look at the market again, and you can decide for yourself. But I know for now, the market is great. You can get in if you want to, but be careful. Be very careful, because the market itself is in a state of confusion right now. People are scared of where the market is going to, because if you look at 2022, I'm not just talking about cryptocurrencies, but if you look at 2023, where the kind of technologies that are coming up, the kind of new steps that government wants to take, the initiatives that we're talking about right now, notice that the financial market will be hit somehow. We're going to get into that conversation where what would the financial market, what direction would it take? So if you're a trader, not for you to maximize your profit, minimize your losses. When you trade, just be looking at your chart. At least that's what I have right now. And I would love us to talk about like how would in the future videos or in the future series, I would love us to talk about how AI, artificial intelligence, would affect how people trade or affect how the market. Thank you very much.
Thank you. AI, how AI can affect what you say, how AI can do it?
How AI, how people trade, and also in the global market, how AI would affect those things. I did some research with ChatGPT and some other AI that are limited that you have to pay for, and I noticed that it's crazy. There are so many things coming up right now, and that's why I feel that the big corporations that we know of, they have access to some of the advanced technologies. So we shouldn't move ahead of ourselves. We should take one step at a time. And I would be glad if we as a community, we can talk about these things so the people in our community can benefit from some of this information.
Okay, that's really great. I mean, I even look forward to talking about AI in active trading. It will be interesting. There's actually a technology already unleashed. So, sorry, the Dream Chase, are you there? If you have anything before we close up.
Yeah, I'm here. I've said everything like on it and my work clearly. So yeah, it's cool. It was like this is my first thing also. It's actually an innovative space. At least everybody here in Ohio and idea of stuff. It's actually cool. About AI, I haven't done much research on AI, but the little about I know about AI, I know that it's actually going to have a positive impact on the market. AI is just like a step closer to actualizing the whole metaverse dream, you know, and crypto is actually supportive of metaverse. In fact, I think the word metaverse started from the crypto space. So yeah, let us keep our fingers crossed and see what the future holds for us on this space. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And I don't know, from the community, I see we have listeners. We have AC. I love your DP. So happy. And we have Malik A. Malik Aziz Abi. If there are any questions from you, we will be open to get your response your questions so we can respond in case we missed out on something. And so our speakers, Mr. T Map and Dream Chasers, thank you. It was really, really a pleasure. And sorry about last week. Last week we had like a network issue. Hopefully next week should be better. And it seems like the topic for next week is already locked in. Yeah, so thank you guys for being a part of this conversation today. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Till next week, I believe. So if you're still around, just playing the theme song.
Iraq and some other country, even Saudi Arabia, they accept other currency now to transact with them rather than dollar. So they don't depend on only on dollar again. So I think the issue of that dollarization is really affecting, and that is even giving Bitcoin a kind of an edge over dollar currently now.
Okay. Yeah, that's really a good point. That is very important for us to actually take note on. Basically, this space is actually going to be recorded, so whenever the community comes around, they are going to get your inputs.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you very much for being a part of the conversation.
Welcome, boss.
Yeah. Sorry, what part of Nigeria? You are from Nigeria, if I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. We are actually like a community based in Algeria, and we also try to connect with people in Nigeria also.
Okay.
We organize this every Saturday, so you can join, and I would love
No problem.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.